Hi, my name is Taryn, and I'm an incoming doctoral student in the Mirage School of Business. Today, I'll be discussing my summer research project on labor experiences of the formerly incarcerated. For the purpose of this talk, I'm going to use FI in lieu of formerly incarcerated. Did you know that there are 100 million arrest and conviction records in the US as of 2014? That's 25% of the adult population. 600,000 people per year are re-entering society from incarceration. 75% of them won't find a job in the first year, and 60% of them will be rearrested within 3 years. The two leading scholars on this topic are Deepa Pager and Bruce Western. The late Pager expressed how the employment barriers of minority status and criminal record are compounded, which intensifies the stigma for this group. Western states that because FI are a large group, understanding their labor market experiences can help understand patterns of inequality and social problems. For my methods, I conducted an interdisciplinary review of the literature on FI in the workplace to bridge knowledge from sociology and criminology into management. Western found evidence that prison time affected earnings, but not necessarily job prospects. He ran a regression using the National Longitudinal Study of Youth and determined that incarceration reduces wages by 10 to 20% and wage growth by 30%. Pager ran an audit study in Milwaukee, sending out matched pairs, Black and white, to apply for job openings to see how employers respond to criminal records. This helped measure record as a mechanism for producing employment disparities. Her research showed that qualified applicants with a record were 50% less likely to receive a callback. Afterwards, she sent employers a survey about their hiring preferences and practices. Employers expressed a higher willingness to hire drug offenders in the survey. 60% of them said that they were likely to hire FI, whereas the audit showed only 17% of white and 5% of Black applicants with a record were actually called back. Western, Pager, and UCI's own Dr. Sugi replicated the study in New York and found that applicants needed an interview to show their soft skills. Testers that interacted with employers were 4 to 6 times more likely to get a callback, and personal contact reduced the effect of a criminal record by 15%. In more recent years, this issue has caught the attention of business scholars. HR research emphasizes employers' responsibility in addressing societal problems like mass incarceration and explain why workforce development is needed to ensure optimal use of the labor force. Org Studies research shows the complex role of organizations and how they normalize inequities in everyday work lives. By choosing who to recruit into particular positions, who to promote to top managerial roles, and how to allocate rewards, leaders of organizations potentially ensure that inequality is created and sustained. Most recently, management research showed how FI mitigate labor market discrimination, close the income gap, and decrease rates of recidivism by becoming entrepreneurs. It was noted that FI are more likely to become entrepreneurs compared to individuals without a record. Despite 20 years of research on the underemployment of FI, it is still a prominent issue in the workforce today. Although the marginalized group is large and severely discriminated against in the labor market, it is under-theorized and understudied. After reading through the literature, some things are still unaddressed. All participants in the studies were male. The experiences of FI women are relevant since women now comprise of 46.8% of the US labor force. Additionally, the studies only involved drug crimes. We need to compile data on theft and violent crimes since 53.9% of crimes are not drug related. Lastly, we need to distinguish among positions within an organization to see what job requirements and status distinctions make a position more or less suited to hiring stigmatized workers. The big question is, how will I solve this problem? Although there are many approaches to take on this project, I am most interested in the experiences of FI employees as opposed to job applicants. Some of the questions that I would like to dig deeper on are, how are FI turned away from higher levels of employment? Are bias, judgment, and discriminatory hiring practices impacting FI's ability to advance within an organization? Does educational attainment for FI serve as a catalyst for employment or promotion? What perspective do FI bring to teams and organizations? And how do FI mediate stigma in the workplace? There are hurdles that I'll encounter as I embark on this project. First, identifying FI in the workplace is going to be difficult, especially in regions where ban the box prevents employers from requesting that information from applicants. Second, I anticipate it being difficult to determine whether poor outcomes are due to the incarceration, the criminal record, or pre-existing characteristics that make the applicant unemployable. Last, I will most likely be utilizing some survey data. However, self-reported data validity is subject to response accuracy. I look forward to doing more of this research and seeing what is discovered. And I thank you so much for your time. I'm happy to answer questions. You're welcome to shoot me an email. Have a great day.